So old Trae Young said that if he was 6'8", he'd be the greatest player ever. Am I right? Oh, we could play the what if game. Come on, Trae Young. You a good guard. You're like a junior whopper version of Steph Curry. You know, the funny thing about Trae Young is this. He did lead the Hawks to Eastern Conference Finals a few years ago. Took a game against Milwaukee, against Giannis. And the interesting thing is that he looked pretty good for his turnovers. I always said with Trae Young, I don't know why he doesn't, from the top of the key, his dribble, he can go to the hole. He created shots and he can score, but he chooses to just shoot, pass, drive, and kind of like, you know, manipulate a scene where he, I don't want to say he tries to like to shoot range and think after, and he's been allowed to get away with it. That's why Nate McMillan got fired. But let me get to this. Some people already were saying it was a one-sided trade day for him and Luka Doncic. Well, Luka got to the finals last year, so he got one game in the finals over over Trae, and that'll be an interesting debate how successful Luka's career goes. Well, that would be a lopsided trade because at this juncture, he got to one finals before Trae, and you can debate it. He's a better player than Trae, but Trae is considered probably in the, I don't know, let's do top 20 players going. Trae's been an all-star. You know, he's going to get some love, but he's could be a coach killer, and I think he's a bit overblown with his ego. I don't agree with him talking about that if he was 6'8", because he ain't Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas could make that argument. Zeke. If Zeke was, I could make that case. Because I heard people used to say if he was 6'6", he'd have been Jordan. And Zeke was something else. If Steph Curry was 6'8", you know. John Stockton would have been considered probably, is to keep the fundamentals, probably would have been a top 15, 16 player ever. You know. 6'1". I'm just strictly in the guys like that. Steph Curry was 4 or 5 inches taller. Yeah. We can all say that. Trae Young, no, you can't say that. Because you don't really display a big arsenal of anything. You throw some good dimes when you do, but the totality of him, no, no, no. You ain't cut like that. You know. But I crack up when a cat says, if I was, I'm like, yeah, okay. And if I had $1 for every time I had $1, I'd be a millionaire. Okay, come on now. I laugh when I hear cats say that because if you're not utilizing what you got at this juncture, you're not that good. You got to remember something. He's in an era where you shoot first, think pass, and do the other stuff later. And he don't do that right because the Hawks they do have talent. They're not a garbage team. They're not trash all the way. Should be contending for postseason. But he doesn't utilize what he's got. So, therefore, he's kind of like one of those guys that I guess in time you'll kind of almost forget. I'll be sad if he ends up staying with the Hawks longer than Dominique Wilkins will. Or that these people will actually look at me dead in my face and say, yeah, wasn't he one of the 4 or 5 greatest Hawk players ever? Because if you're going to say that if you had height, you would be that, you're going to tell me with a straight face, you would have been Dominique Wilkins. And Dominique ain't considered one of the top tier greatest, but he's in the greatest argument, probably in the, I'd say 33 to about 49 set. He's one, and that's essential. If you want to fit the greatest players ever, you are essential. And I was a huge Nick fan. So you're telling me basically that if you was and I'm not trying to say he was trying to slight or diss Dominique Wilkins, but I look at what Trae Young did and what Dominique Wilkins did. Dominique Wilkins did not have some of the caliber to get to an Eastern Conference Finals in an era like Trae did and to have that kind of success because the East was far more difficult when Nick played. I'm not trying to say Young is going there with this, but when you start saying if I was taller, you start pulling that, what's that song? I wish I was taller. I wish I was a bit Skee-Lo. You trying to pull a Skee-Lo? Trae Young, you trying to pull a Skee-Lo? Come on, man. You good, but you overrated. You ain't that deep. Anyway, please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another shit of if you like. Hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay true, stay real, stay honest, stay clear, stay cool, and cool. I'm out one time. Peace.